Watkins, and I'm the Vice President for University and External Relations. And one of the pleasures I have of all of the things that I'm involved in on campus is working with OSU Okmulgee's watchmaking program. So I am pleased to be our Master of Ceremonies today and get us going to acknowledge this historical event. And what I should point out to begin with is this is not a recent relationship that we have with Rolex. This has been an ongoing relationship that goes back to the early 90s. So they have been very supportive and involved with our program for quite some time. So the commemoration that we are doing today of this new partnership is really just another level. So we are very excited, and we are very pleased that all of you have chosen to join us today and share in our excitement. So at this time, what I'm going to do is introduce our president of our campus, Dr. Klobenish. Dr. Klobenish has been with our campus for 25 years, so which has provided leadership and mentoring for many of these efforts. And I will be the first to say, as others that have been involved with the program, many of the advisors and the companies, the students, the faculty, that certainly if the commitment was not there at the administrative level from the very top down, this would not be happening. And this program would not have evolved and grown to the point that it is today. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce President Klobenish.
Thank you, and I want to say welcome to each of you that are here and express my thanks for you taking time to come for this event. It's really a privilege for me to have the opportunity to start the event by making a few remarks. There's one thing about this institution that sets us apart, and one thing that we focus on at this institution is the partnerships that we build with business and industry. In fact, any program of study that we have in the technical area at this point essentially doesn't exist if there isn't some type of a partnership with business and industry. What we do at this institution is to prepare people for the workforce, and we want to prepare highly skilled people for the workforce. And that takes the right students, that takes the right faculty, and that takes the correct infrastructure to make that happen. But the linchpin to that is a partnership and the support that we get via that partnership. We expect only to strengthen the partnerships at this institution as we go forward. And a couple nights, 2 nights this week, I just want to share this with you because it relates to this situation. I was, they call it a guest lecture, but I don't know exactly, for a graduate class on an institution in North Carolina of master degree students, and they're all seeking to have your position, Burns. They
need to talk to me.
Anyway, they had developed about 80 questions, and we had 2 hours a night, web-based, interactive, to talk. And so we didn't get through nearly all the questions. But one of the questions both evenings with these people that want to be CEOs and presidents was, how do you develop partnerships, and can you develop a partnership with business and industry in small rural colleges? Because they said we're in North Carolina, and most of our colleges, with the exception of few, are small rural. So I said, because the student that was asking it said, we think those have to be in metropolitan colleges. And I said, well, did you ever hear of Okmulgee, Oklahoma? And, so the point was, you can't get any more rural than Okmulgee, Oklahoma. And but I want to say this, in terms of the partnerships that this institution has with business and industry, and so I asked him, have you ever heard of Caterpillar? Well, all people have heard of Caterpillar just about. Or have you ever heard of Toyota, USA? Or other kinds of major corporations with a worldwide presence? This institution started the first partnership with Caterpillar in the world. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be hosting the International Education Conference of partnerships from around the world. South America, China, Britain, from all over the world. We're going to be hosted. And then the program started here. We have the only partnership in the world with Komatsu, just as large as Caterpillar. So you can do it in rural, small places. The number one thing is good people, two things, good people and high quality, and continuous quality improvement on a basis. So today, and finally I concluded the discussion, Charles, with them is, did you ever hear of Rolex? Well, obviously, just about everybody in the world has heard of Rolex. And I said, we are a partnership with Rolex. So it can be done. It doesn't have to be large. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, small rural colleges have more opportunity than lots of other places to do it. I do want to just take a little bit and say this institution was created in 1946 when a very significant individual, Dr. H.G. Bennett, was president of Oklahoma State. And this facility had been an Army hospital during World War II. And during World War II, it had 1,100 veterans here and 1,300 healthcare professionals. And at the end of World War II, the government decided to close this facility. So there was a lot to do about what to do with this facility and how to replace that economic impact on eastern Oklahoma. Just wasn't Okmulgee, Oklahoma. It's a large area that had an impact on eastern Oklahoma. So President Bennett negotiated with the government the acquisition of this facility and the equipment, the inventory of equipment, and I think for $1, and got it. So it started in 1946, and the reason that he did that was to serve veterans, because those veterans were coming back from World War II, and they wanted production agriculture, many of them. And there was not sufficient facilities in Stillwater to accommodate them. So the first programs here were for veterans and in two different kinds of areas. Production agriculture, and the other was, because there was a rehabilitation center here, for disabled veterans. And we see what happens as a result of war today in Iraq, disabled veterans. So there were programs that were started in 1946 that disabled veterans could take and be very successful. And one of those programs was watchmaking. The watchmaking program has been here since 1946. Now it has evolved over a great deal since that period of time. But that is how this institution started, and one of the linchpins programs was watchmaking. And then in 1986, I was at a decision point of, do we continue the program, the watchmaking program, or do we not? Because if you know how hard it is to find hen's teeth, you know how hard it is to find qualified watchmaking instructors. It is extremely difficult. So we made a decision that we were going to continue the program and search for an instructor. And the person that we found was Vít Jarokoski. And Vít, would you stand up? Vít and his family immigrated from Poland to this country. And they had to come separate. And they couldn't speak English. He's taught himself English. And he became our watchmaking instructor. And really did a wonderful job. And he's the reason we're here today. Vít is the reason we're here today. He retired and he's back helping us now on a part-time basis. So one person does make a difference. And Vít, thank you for that. The other person that been with us for a long period of time with Rolex is Heinz Nudenberger. And Heinz, I'd just like to acknowledge you and let people see who you are. Heinz has worked with us through the good and the bad. And I've thanked him so many times for that. And he said, you have to be there when it's not so good. And then when it's good, it's a lot more fun to be there. So that's what's happened. And finally, Charles Berthium, did I get that right? Has just been a champion for this effort and getting us to this point today. Charles is Senior Vice President, Rolex in New York City, and you're going to hear from him just a little bit later. So thank you very much.
Great. Well, actually, Mr. Berthium is up next to speak to us. And I'm pleased to say, prior to my involvement in the program, Mr. Berthium actually was on our campus. And many of you that are familiar with our campus know that our watchmaking program is in a beautiful facility that you'll have an opportunity to tour if you'd like to today. But Mr. Berthium was here before we had that facility. And as Dr. Klobanish said, you know, Rolex has been with us through thick and through thin. And so I was really pleased, even though unfortunately he came in on Wednesday when we were having some storms and some different turbulence. I was really excited for him to come and see our new facility and see how the program has evolved. So let me just tell you a little bit about Mr. Berthium, because he has a history and a background that I think he can really truly appreciate where we've been and where we've come from, because he's experienced some of these things as well. Originally from Central Connecticut, Mr. Berthium spent his last 32 years in New York. That's a little bit different from Okmulgee. That's not the part I'm talking about. He graduated from the Joseph Bouleveau School of Watchmaking in New York in 1977, and he began his career as a watch technician for Norman M. Morris Corporation. They import for Omega and Tissot. Is that correct? So he's been a watchmaker. He understands that background. He came from that background. He then went on to Rolex Watch USA, where he's remained since 1980. He continued his technical training with Rolex, attending factory training courses at the headquarters in Geneva. Over the years, he's held varied positions. He's been a service technician, a technical instructor, a technical manager, vice president of after-sales service, and currently he's senior vice president for technical operations. He also serves as the president of the Lidditz Watch Technicum, an independent not-for-profit watchmaking school which is underwritten by Rolex. At this time, help me in welcoming Mr. Berthium.
Thank you, Anita. I'd like to begin by acknowledging and thanking some distinguished guests with us today. President Hargis, pleasure meeting you as well. Nice to meet you. And the Oklahoma legislative delegates that are here today. Thank you very much for being here. I'd also like to thank Dr. Klobanish and his team and all the colleagues and staff that are here today and that have kept the watchmaking program here and sustained it all these years. It's my privilege to be here on behalf of Rolex on such a happy occasion, a momentous occasion, a celebration of sorts, because we're here to celebrate the strength and future of watchmaking in America. You know, it's a profession that has had its ups and downs over the centuries, but we'll focus on just this past century and this new century we just started. You know, in 1946, there were many watchmaking programs, and they increased in the next decade to a point where when I went to school in the 70s, there were close to 50 programs in the U.S. Now, being a watchmaker, graduating into a field that had just experienced the quartz watch introduction, which was a revolution. And what it did, it just sent shockwaves throughout the traditional watchmaking profession, manufacturing in the world. And what it did was it spelled that it was kind of a death knell that was tolling for the future of watchmaking, which was electronic. So I graduated, and the old timers I would meet would ask me, "Why are you even in this profession? It's dead. Come on, get out while you can." Well, I loved it, and I stayed with it, and I'm glad I did, because none of us could have predicted what would have happened in the next couple of decades. Quartz watches are still with us. They're fantastic products, and they'll remain. However, today, and this momentum began about 20 years ago, and has not abated since. There's been a renaissance in the appreciation for traditional hand craftsmanship today with watchmaking once again. And it's something that bodes very well for the future for our students, and I like to remind them of that. The watch industry, especially the high-grade luxury watch industry, has been experiencing a very strong market worldwide, especially in the U.S. Now, with any fine mechanism, with any fine machine, it needs to be maintained. And when items are as precious and as well designed and as sensitive, and in some cases as fine as hen's teeth, you need traditionally trained watchmakers. And OSU, Okmulgee, has sustained and supported this program, this venerable program, since 1946. And I say that because there are only 12 programs left in the U.S. And it was our privilege to have been involved with Okmulgee since the early 90s. And today we are here to celebrate this new alliance. And this alliance is poised to set new standards in watchmaking education. Not only here in the U.S., where we need to address this new market, and this new market is a luxury, high-grade market with discerning customers. It's also poised to affect the world as well. And it's a small world of watchmaking. And we are equipped, and we certainly have what's most important in equipment: the personnel, the dedication. And I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues sitting over there with Mr. Leuenberger, Mr. Meyer, Mr. Lehman. We need to nurture a new generation that will replace us, because the future of watchmaking is alive and well. This program has come a long way since 1946, and we've entered a new century, and I'm pleased to say and honored to say that the watchmaking program at OSU is alive and well and will lead us into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck. Next on our list to bring comments is an integral player in this whole picture, because it's one thing for the watchmaking education experience to garner a degree, but also it's very helpful if there's a certification, external certification process that can also add credibility and credentialing. And so we have been working with the American Watch and Clock Institute, and we have the executive director with us today. They have been working with us for several years. Mr. Jim Lubick has been to many, many meetings and was involved with this program long before I was. So again, another person that has stayed with us through thick and thin, and another organization. We actually have other representatives of that organization that are with us here today, here in support. So we're very pleased to have them. To give you a little bit of background on Mr. Lubick, he is the executive director and education and technical director for the American Watch and Clockmakers Institute. In 1991, he earned an associate in technology degree with a major in complete horology from Gem City College in Quincy, Illinois. Mr. Lubick has earned the titles of a certified technician for Accutron, Bulova Quartz, and Seiko watches. Jim is an AWCI certified master watchmaker. He has 4 years experience servicing watches in a retail store, warranty service center, and a trade shop. For 6 years, he was the instructor and director of the Ohio Valley Watchmaking Institute. Mr. Lubick graduated first in the WOSTEP class of 1990 and completed the WOSTEP complicated course in December of '92. He served as the president of the Greater Cincinnati Jewelers and Watchmakers Association and is past chairman of AWCI's Research and Education Council. Jim, will you make some comments, please?
Thank you, Anita. Hello, everyone, and thank everyone for coming today. Like Anita said, it's been several years that I've come to the advisory meetings here, and it's always been so inspirational for me to come and see the changes that have taken place here, the improvements in the program, the support that V. Jarkowski has brought in rounding up people to come to the advisory meetings here, the support that Bob and Anita have given the program over the years, and then to see this culminate in a situation today where you have Rolex coming together with OSU Okmulgee to form a watchmaking training alliance. The American Watchmakers Clockmakers Institute is lucky to be the standard bearer of this certification, and for that certification to be the exam that the graduates of this program are going to take and earn after their training. It's very important to have a standard in the watchmaking industry or in any industry. It's what the consumers are trained to look for when they own these luxury watches, where to take their watches to be repaired or serviced. It's something that the schools strive for their graduates to obtain, and it's a way for the trade association of the American Watchmakers Clockmakers Institute to have a relationship with industry so that we can always be communicating to bring those standards up to the highest level possible. And I'm proud to be here today representing American Watchmakers Clockmakers Institute with the university and with Rolex, and to say that I think those standards are going to be safe for a long time and will continue to improve. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Jim. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce our new OSU president, Burns Hargis. And as I was thinking about this and talking a little bit about the building and how far the watchmaking program has come, it occurred to me that President Hargis some years ago joined us. He was actually the master of ceremonies, if I remember right, of that facility. So this is quite appropriate. The timing is perfect for this because many changes are occurring within the system and within our state. And so we're pleased that I think this is your first official visit to our campus, and we're pleased to have you to be able to speak on behalf of this. So, and I believe your wife, Ann, is with us as well.
Yeah,
There she is, Ann. So we're pleased that you could join us too. So to give you a little bit of background on our new president, Burns Hargis was named the 18th president of Oklahoma State University and the OSU system in December of 2007. He just recently took office on March 10th of 2008. So we were very pleased because I know you have an extremely hectic agenda in these first few months. They're critical, and we're very excited that you could join us here today for this. So this is nice. In his role, he oversees one of the nation's most comprehensive land-grant university systems, with more than 32,000 students, 7,400 employees, and campuses located throughout the state: Stillwater, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Okmulgee. Hargis, who holds degrees in accounting from Oklahoma State University and in law from the University of Oklahoma, is the second OSU graduate to lead the university as president. So I think that's impressive as well. President Hargis has distinguished himself as one of Oklahoma's most dynamic leaders, earning the respect of people from across the country. Throughout his career in both business and public service, he has demonstrated an ability to approach important matters strategically and creatively. Prior to coming to OSU, he was vice chairman of Bank of Oklahoma. Before joining Bank of Oklahoma in 1997, Hargis practiced law in Oklahoma City for 28 years. Hargis has also served as vice chairman of Oklahoma State Election Board, the Oklahoma Constitutional Revision Commission, and has also served as chairman of the Oklahoma Commission for Human Services. He is a former member of the commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools. A firm believer in the power of imagination and collaboration, President Hargis was the first chair of the Oklahoma Creativity Project. Before asking President Hargis to come forward, I would certainly like to have all of us acknowledge that he is not just a recent president. He is also someone that has been with us for years and years, supporting our efforts here at Okmulgee and throughout the system. So please join me in applause.
Gosh, thank you, Anita. That was really nice. Gee, Bob, maybe we need a promotion here. What do you think? This is great. This really is one of my favorite places on earth, and certainly it's always so welcoming here. It's so beautiful in Okmulgee, and I understand we were able to show Chuck some of our tornadoes. We're very proud of them. We got a great crowd here. I hate to disappoint you. I understand there was a memo that said everybody got a free Rolex. And, sorry. I
didn't get it.
You didn't get the memo. That's the problem, see. Yeah, that's why Ann slept in the car last night. She was not going to miss this trip. But that's okay. We'll get the next best thing, which is having you here, Chuck, and making this announcement. Okmulgee, OSU Okmulgee is so important in the whole OSU family of universities. We actually think of ourselves as one university with 4 campuses. But it's such an important area, and it plays such a critical role, and a lot of that is really because of Bob Klobunis. He has done a marvelous job. There is not a better administrator in higher education in the state, and Bob, we just appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
Chuck, Bob has been here over 25 years. I've been here just over 25 days. So I'm using him as a real model of what I hope to become. I guess I'll just be very brief and say that as a land-grant university, we take our mission very seriously. And Henry Bennett was one of the real fathers of I think, expanding the whole land-grant mission. You know, Lincoln created the land-grant schools because he wanted everybody to be able to go to have higher education. In those days, only the elite had access to universities, and they were all private. So Lincoln created the land-grant universities, and some people don't even know, and as included I, at one point, basically the federal government gave land that was in the states, which could be converted then into a university or with the money or actually on that site. And that's really where the whole term came from. But our mission is education, research, and outreach. And obviously this program fits squarely within that mission. What I like the most about it is, as with all of the partnerships, and the reason Bob has been able to create these partnerships is because they know he'll do it well. And he always does. He always delivers. What's so important about this is Rolex is the standard of the industry. There is not a more excellent company at what they do than Rolex. And for them to be our partner, I think puts the international stamp of approval on our graduates that they're the best. They've been trained by the best, they've been associated by the best, and they will be the best. And we appreciate that very much. We are thrilled about this partnership and look forward to many more years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, President Hargis. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Kermit McMurray on behalf of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, where he serves as Vice Chancellor. He has been at this post since 1995, and he also has been an ongoing supporter of this institution. As a matter of fact, he was our most recent graduation speaker. We appreciated that. Subsequent to his appointment to the State Regents, Dr. McMurray served in the cabinet of Nebraska Governor Kay Orr from 1987 to 1990. Dr. McMurray received his Bachelor and Master of Science degrees from the University of Colorado and his doctorate degree from the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, where I think he and Dr. Klobunis had met and spent some time together in Nebraska. He's done postdoctoral study at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and in 2004 he was inducted into the Cali Community College's Athletic Hall of Fame. Please welcome Dr. Kermit.
Thank you, Anita, and to those of you at the head table, good morning, and to those of you who are seated in front of me, let me also say good morning to you. Clearly, this is another banner day, and I underscore the notion banner in Oklahoma State at Okmulgee. It's another banner day because of the outstanding leadership that Bob Clovenis has brought to this campus. And I am very proud and very pleased to be here. This morning, however, I have the unique privilege, President Hodges, to serve as Chancellor. And the thing that Chancellor Johnson has learned is he can do a lot of things. One of the things he cannot do is be in two places at one time. So what he has asked me to do is serve as Chancellor for 2 hours, and he told me I could only do it in Okmulgee. So what that means is I have a very small window, a very narrow window to get done what I need to get done this morning. As you all know, our primary goal in higher education is to better prepare students who will succeed in college so that they are in a position to compete globally and add value to the economy, not only in Oklahoma, but certainly across this country. What we have also learned, as the population grows, the big questions we face are what kind of economy will this population experience, and does Oklahoma have the ability to adjust its workforce to meet the needs of this changing economy? In my opinion, and I'm confident that in your opinion it is true, that the way we do that is through education. Let me put it this way. Simply stated, we need more graduates in Oklahoma to fill jobs which meet the needs of business and industry, and to raise our per capita income. Currently, we are below the national average in the number of jobs number of students who hold college degrees, so there is much work to be done. To reach our goal, the state regents encourage our institutions to cultivate opportunities through partnerships with the business or to expand on existing partnerships to meet the needs of today's workforce. And then essentially, that is why we are here today. We are building on a partnership between OSU Okmulgee Watchmaking and Microtechnology Program and the Rolex Company. And to you, we are very pleased and proud to be a part of this experience. We know that education fuels our economy. We know that it fuels our economic development as a city, as a state, and even as our nation. We will continue to use this fast-paced change of technology and in turn make sure that our students have the ability to make a difference in this economy. We are very, very excited to have Rolex as a part of the partnership with OSU Okmulgee, and I can't think of a better place you ought to be than right here and right now. Thank you so much for having me here this morning.
Thank you, Kermit. At this time, we have a presentation on behalf of our legislative delegation. And, you know, one of the things as we move forward in these types of partnerships, if we don't have the support of our legislative delegation, that's just critical. That's just critical. They need to know and be involved in the types of things that we're involved in. And they have been incredibly supportive of our efforts. So let me give you a little bit of background on them. We first have Senator Ballinger. Senator Ballinger was elected to the Oklahoma State Senate in 2006 in District 8. Prior to his election as state senator, he served 16 years as our Oklahoma County Commissioner and was on the Oklahoma City Council for 8 years. He also served in the United States Navy from 1969 to 1973. And one of the things that's been really critical that he has been involved in, actually all three have been involved in, and I was surprised that Dr. Clovenis didn't pinch me on the leg because I think I got it wrong a while ago. But Senator Ballinger and our other legislators were very involved in helping with co-authoring legislation to change the name of this campus to Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, Okmulgee. So they were extremely instrumental in that, and we appreciate that. So back to Senator Ballinger, one of the other things that we think is critical, he's one of our graduates. So of one of our programs, he graduated from this institution's electrical and electronics program and serves as an electrical contractor. So that is Senator Ballinger. We also have Representative Shoemake. Representative Shoemake was elected to the Oklahoma House of Representatives in 2004 and serves in District 16. As representative, he helps us in a variety of ways. He's a lifelong member of Okmulgee County. He and his wife Linda have been very involved. As a matter of fact, Linda was a faculty member that served on this campus and retired recently and still continues to assist us. Representative Shoemake serves on the Okmulgee County Fair Board and is a longstanding member of the American Quarter Horse Association. He also serves on the Oklahoma Quarter Horse Association Board of Directors and is the superintendent of Tulsa State Fair Equine Division. He graduated from Morris High School and earned a degree in accounting also from our institution. He also, as I was saying, was very involved in the legislation. And last but not least, we have Representative Dale Turner. Representative Turner was elected to the Oklahoma House of Representatives to serve the citizens of House District 24 in 1996, and he serves as the Deputy Democratic Floor Leader. Due to term limitations, Representative Turner will be leaving the legislature this year, fortunately. Representative Turner earned a BS degree in agricultural education from Oklahoma State University in 1963 and his master's degree in agriculture education from Oklahoma State University in 1971. So I think it's important to understand that I think we all bleed orange from what I can tell. In 1985, Mr. Turner served as the president of the National Vocational Agricultural Teachers Association. Representative Turner also co-authored the legislation. So at this time, I'm going to bring them up and allow them to make a presentation.
It is a pleasure to be here today, and President Hargis, one thing that they didn't say about Representative Shoemake, you know, OSU is an agricultural college, and we do a lot of variety of things as legislators, and it hadn't been just a few weeks ago that we were at the Oklahoma Youth Expo at the Oklahoma Fairgrounds, and one thing they didn't say about Representative Shoemake, we all show animals with the future OSU students, the pigs and the sheep and the cows, and legislators go out and make fools of themselves trying to handle these animals, but we have one expert with us today. Representative Shoemake was crowned as the legislative showman of the year and had a big trophy, so he should have brought his trophy. So I just want to make sure that you knew you had that honor on your staff. But
Among royalty.
it is a pleasure to be here today on behalf of the legislative delegation and also the legislature of the state of Oklahoma. We're really proud, the three of us, that the shining star for us is to have the OSU Institute of Technology in our district. It's just such a pride. No other legislator has that honor, and we're just real proud of that. The programs here and the partnerships we have, and we're especially proud of Dr. Klobness. He's been a longtime friend and supporter, not only of the school, but of the community. He's a vital part of Okmulgee and the success we have here. And at this time, Chuck, if you'd like to stand up here, I'd like to read this proclamation from the state of Oklahoma. Whereas Rolex is recognized throughout the world as the premier luxury watch manufacturer using the highest level of craftsmanship to produce legendary timepieces, whereas the worldwide demand for luxury watches is continually increasing, resulting in a growing need for skilled watchmakers throughout the world that are pursuing this prestigious career path. Whereas of the watchmaking programs in the United States, one of the oldest and most successful programs is in the great state of Oklahoma. Whereas Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, Okmulgee, is the state's leading technical institute with advanced technologies, facilities, equipment, expert faculty, industry partnerships, and other resources to ensure rigorous education for careers in a wide array of occupational areas. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Rolex and Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, Okmulgee, join together to offer a world-class luxury watchmaking program of study. These two partners, with support from the American Watchmakers Clockmakers Institute, will lead the way in modeling best practices with respect to the preparation of watchmakers of the highest quality. Be it further resolved that this partnership is recognized as one small additional step in the cultivation of global inclusiveness and the fostering of appreciation of different cultures and their contributions to bringing about world peace to all people. We now proclaim this day, May 9th, 2008, as Rolex Day. We, the signatories and witness this collaboration, hereby set our hand to cause the Great Seal of the State of Oklahoma to be affixed and proclaim our support for this sponsorship and its success. Signed by Governor Brad Henry, Representative Dale Turner, Representative Jerry Shoemake, and myself, State Senator Roger Ballinger. Congratulations. I'll ask my counterparts to unveil a larger version of this proclamation to be presented to Rolex. And, thank you so much. Same thing. Sit down. Okay. We'll sit down. All right, we'll sit down. Overreaching again.
You guys are stealing the thunder.
A great job you did. Thank you. Great. Well, we're almost finished. I appreciate you all bearing with us as we go through some of these things, but we're excited and we want to make sure that everyone is included in this opportunity to make comments. So I would like to acknowledge a few people that have been very helpful to this process. Certainly our culinary arts, they have done a marvelous job in helping us to put this together, so we might give them a round. I think we have Connie Pearson. She was here from Senator Coburn's office. There she is, Connie. We appreciate that you are here and supporting. And I think Mayor Brian Pregel, are you back there? Mayor Okmulgee. And if we were giving awards for those that maybe drove the farthest, we also have Dr. Klobinish's mother, Genevieve Klobinish. And Bob's wife Jerry, and Bob's sister Jeanette, and her son Brian. Thank you. Appreciate that you are here as well. And I think that, you know, it would just not be right if we didn't acknowledge the reason we're here. It's really about the students. And, you know, when we sent out some notifications that this was forthcoming and this event was going to occur, I asked Rosina to send out to our alumni. And you know, they're all over the world. They're all over the nation. They're all over the world. But we had some of them that joined us. So those of you that are alumni of the program, would you please stand? One of our alumni that did not stand is Jason Ziegenbein. Jason is a current faculty member, and I would also ask the current students to stand. Well, this concludes the formal part of this portion of the event. At this time, we're going to do the formal signing to commemorate the partnership, and I would also be remiss if I didn't point out that certainly there are many forms of support that go with this sponsorship, and certainly the $1 million sponsorship over 5 years is a significant part of it. So we truly appreciate that. And at this point, I think what we will do is end this portion of the event and do the signing. The glasses, if you would like to take the glasses that you received, they can wrap those up in the back. Certainly feel free to stay and enjoy yourself. We have refreshments and certainly have an opportunity to visit with each other and with the students. So at this time, I think we will close this event and go on with the signing. So we will have the signing on this side. So just bear with us that we may have to reconfigure just a little bit. Thank you.
Good job. Very well. Good to meet you. I can't think of a better place
Oh, you did good. Yeah, I should have got a big trophy. I should have brought a trophy. You should carry it with you. This is back where they were here. Okay. Set it right in there. Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Yes, sir.
Proclamation.
No, this is the sponsorship agreement. Do you have time to sign that?
Well, I'm here, yeah, sure.
Okay.
My name's Nelson.
Okay. If you could just sign each one of them and pass them down, I think there's like 10 of them. So.
Jim Luby
He's right on.
and Charles. Charles.
Where's your office in there?
That's right. I will definitely pass this. I will definitely do that.
That's a Tony address there.
Well, we go. I'm going to tell you.
We have some extra comments. We have some extra comments.
Yes, it appears that. You did a great job getting through all that as briskly as you did.
Well, so you have a flight to catch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what made it, no, unfortunately, it's out of Oklahoma City because we have to be back in Oklahoma City on tomorrow night.
Oh,
So to fly, when you come in Tulsa and then drive, there wasn't going to be time.
yeah, yeah.
If we got out here in time, we could do it this way.
Well, I really appreciate. No.
Yeah, I like that. You got it there. That's good.
I got it right there. It was just there.
There's just something about that that's always annoying.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was telling Anita, all the time I was regent, David Smidley insisted on that title,
Right.
System CEO. Just bugged me. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
So then when I see it, you know, I always strike it out.
Well, listen.
Well, it just sounds, you know, I just don't like it.
I've got to run.
Thank you, Zim.
President Hargis, I have a gift for you. I have for you all as well. Don't run without your gift.
Good. Oh, yeah.
I decided.
I've got one, Bob. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be great.
I know. I'll be the only bird. Thank you very much.
That's fine.
Finished. Jim, nice to see you. Thank you very much. I'll see you, buddy.
Appreciate all of y'all.
Two more, or you have knocked out? I thought the pin would be enough.
You can have the pen too.
Can I?
No, you're gonna sign it. Right? Great, great.
I got some place for this. Thank you. You did a great job. You did a great job.
She's going to stay until after lunch to take them. I told you to tell some business journal. No, that's the journal record. Oh, it's a business journal too. Cool. He couldn't be here today, but he's going to run it.
hadn't walked in the office. You're leaving? Okay, it was a great pleasure. Okay. We hope to see you down the road. Okay. I mean, look, only if everybody else is ready. How do we take these? You know, you always. You still But you see, the thing is, you know the thing is,
I have a place where it goes. I wouldn't need the much.
Can you switch out your glass? I'll take your dirty and have it clean when it comes back.
so we leave it here or? I mean, if you can, Anita.
Yes.
If you can.
Yeah. I mean, we have several extras, so seriously, as many as you want. Okay. All right.
Ready for lunch? Okay. We can, Anita?
Yes?
Are you going to hang on to them?
Yes, the proclamations.
Let's hang on to all of them.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, do you need help bringing it down?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes. Thank you. Help me think this through. I'm sorry. I'm just really frazzled today, as is evident. So this is Chuck's.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then this is for Herman and Hines and Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to sign the proclamations,
I know,
don't you?
I
Okay,
know.
but,
Not the proclamations, the signing
or the
agreement.
agreement, yeah,
Yeah.
because
So-
Charles had mistaken his and it wasn't signed.
Well, he just holding on to it.
Oh. Okay. Who's his name? Yeah.